Hi, I'm Judy Griffin with Aroma Health Texas. Today we're going to have some fun and we're going to make some perfume bath oils. And these are with our essential oils. And we can also I'll show you how to turn that into a personal perfume. This is very different from the therapeutic doses we've done in other classes. So let's go. We need a cup of Epsom salts and an airtight container, and that we are going to leave our blends in there in that airtight container with the essential oils added to it for a good week, and it needs to be covered in such a way that there's no light or high heat. Now we don't want to refrigerate the blend because then the essential oils won't transfer and blend well. But just in a safe, cool place. And before we use it, we'll be drawing a bath, and then you put your bath salts in there. If you put your bath salts in there with essential oils, when you're drawing the bath, the essential oils are going to be on top of the ceiling, and we want them on you. This is really a healing experience, because in a perfume bath, the scents in that will stay with you and for a whole day or throughout the night. So we're going to have 1 cup make 4 baths, so 1/4 of a cup will be used for each bath. And the first one I'm going to work with is highly floral. So we would need 80 drops. Yes, these are very strong. 80 drops of the Benzoin styrax that has a light vanilla scent as our low note. And we add that first. You add it right to your Epsom salts. Then we're going to add 80 drops of geranium for a heart note, with 120 to 80 drops, your preference, of Ylang extra, and that's a very, very high scent. So you can, you're adding these drops one at a time. You're not squirting drops in there, so that's about 20. No, we're adding one at a time, so you can definitely tell if you want up to 120 or if 80 of the Ylang extra is going to be all right. I use Ylang extra. It makes a huge difference, especially in a perfume. And geranium and Ylang are going to be your heart notes today. I know Ylang has other properties and is used in different ways in blends, but today it's a heart note. It carries the most scent in the blend. And our high note is going to be 80 drops of bergamot. And that's the bergaptan free, so you won't have any rash or something from the sun. Or people who have real sensitive skin do better with bergaptan free. Bergaptan blends with everything. Remember, rose, jasmine, bergamot, and in my opinion, sweet orange, they would go in any blend. So if you're looking for what few essential oils do I want to start with, there's some examples. And they always go together well, besides in other blends with other essential oils. Okay. So then we would put our Epsom salt in our airtight container, put it away for a week to 10 days, and if you can wait that long, and then you're ready for a bath. The next one we're going to go with is Woodsy, or a forest-like blend. And we're going to have 80 drops of the Mysore Sandalwood for our low note. And then we add 80 drops, we're working on our heart note now, of Black Spruce, 60 drops of Douglas Fir. And if you want to add Galbanum, I don't like the smell, so I suggest you only use a couple drops because it's very, very, very strong, and I don't want it to overwhelm a blend. But the Black Spruce and the Fir, any other pine needles or scents that you want to put in there would be good. And then for your high note, I would use 80 drops of the Himalayan cedar. You could use cedar wood, Virginia cedar wood or Texas cedar wood, if you have that available. The Himalayan has this really, it's soft. It's a soft scent, and I really like it. It's very soothing, very different from our other cedar woods. And then we have 60 drops of some, either Texas cedar wood or Virginia cedar wood. One of those, you can put in there. If you're only using like Virginia cedar wood, go ahead and put 140 drops in your blend. Remember, in a big bathtub, we're going to need a lot of essences in there. And then we let it rest for 10 days, if you can. And the next one is going to be our Sultry blend. And it's going to have a little clove and other essential oils we don't normally use in a bath, but it's really going to be good. You're going to like this. We're going to start with 60 drops of Labdanum. That's L-A-B as in boy, D as in dog, A-M-U-M as in mother. That's an absolute. If you have sandalwood and you'd rather use that, it's fine. Labdanum has a nice, they call it an amber scent, so it's up to you. And then add, with either of those, you can add 10 drops of patchouli. Patchouli is a low note, so either patchouli and Labdanum, patchouli and sandalwood, or combine all three. You'll have 70 drops. Then, when we go to our middle note, we're going to use 100 to 120 drops of either Rose Absolute or Rose Geranium. We have a lovely Rose Geranium that we sell. Rose Geranium is less expensive. Or if you want to combine Rose Absolute, you have a little bit of that, but not enough, then use the rest with Rose Geranium. And then 10 drops of clove, that's all you need. I just want to talk about this blend just a minute. When you add tiny amounts of patchouli with rose, it's when you let it blend and let it rest and transform and do its magic in a way, that the patchouli allows the rose scent to just come out in layers, and you almost feel like the rose is opening up right in front of your nose, and you're smelling the rose and deeper and deeper. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful combination. And the 10 drops of clove, besides giving the sultriness, it's good for pain, any kind of pain. And if you don't like clove or you cannot use clove, you could use cardamom. C-A-R-D as in dog, A-M-O-M. I think I spelled it right, I'm close. And that has a very sweet taste, so it would go well. You could use a little of both if you like. And then for a top note, I stick with the citrus a lot. So you could use 80 drops of lime or Litsea, which is Mayflower, and it has a lemony scent. It's light, very light, or a combination of those two for your top note. And again, you put it together, you put it in your container, you let it rest. I hope I didn't go too fast on our drops. These are suggestions. You can change it up. I wouldn't use more than 120 drops of any one particular essential oil. It just gets to be too much. And we don't want to have a reaction. So if you're going to make a perfume instead of a bath oil at another time, remember that in a ½ ounce, which is 15 milliliters, dark glass, it holds maybe 300 drops. So you would have to, in any of these blends, I think we have probably more than 300 drops. So we go to an ounce, and an ounce has about 500 blends to 591 drops. I'm sorry, I said blends. It's 500 to, closer to 591 drops, depending on the size of your drops. And that's why I said do it one at a time. I know it's tedious, but it's the way a chemist works. And you could use an ounce, which is a 30 milliliter dark bottle. And after you put your essential oils in there, starting with the low notes always, and then building with your heart notes and top it off with your high notes, then you cap it, and, well, you don't cap it yet. You can cap it and go get your perfume alcohol. Don't use vodka. Please don't use vodka. It will ruin your scent. You have to use, if you want a true perfume, you have to use 200% whatever, however it's called, alcohol. It's perfume alcohol. You can get grape alcohol, you can get different types, but it's still perfume alcohol, which is 200%. And if you have it shipped to you, it has to be shipped as dangerous goods. And you may have to pay a little extra for the postage. When you make a perfume blend in alcohol and you have filled the bottle with your perfume alcohol, after you put all your essential oils in, then you cap it, and then you let it rest 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, perfectly it would be 30 days, 4 weeks. But, you know, as long as you can, again, in a dark place that is cool but not cold. If you do not choose to use perfume alcohol, use one of your carrier oils, sweet almond, argan, you know, anyone that is not odorous. Jojoba is just like the skin, so some people use that. It's not a true oil, but we use it as a carrier oil. It's wonderful. And that would be a way to make a true perfume with your essential oils. And yes, it takes that much essential oils to do a true perfume that's going to stay on and leave in layers, and you can enjoy it, and hopefully the people around you will enjoy it too. So we can either use perfume alcohol, and that gives the way that perfumes come off of somebody and layers and scents. The perfume alcohol is the best way to do that. But I'm perfectly happy with a carrier oil with my essential oils in it, okay? And I hope you would be too. It's safe in a way, so to me, rather than having alcohol, if a child or somebody gets a hold of it. And if you have any questions, I hope you contact me, and like and share and subscribe. And we'll be doing some more blends soon. I was thinking about a couple of meditation blends that some of which I don't think you've ever worked with before. Most meditation blends are the real low notes, and that's, you know, that's not what you have to use to have a good meditation blend, because you're lifting up the consciousness. So we'll use, you know, some of our florals and high notes that are really uplifting, and we may do that one next. I look forward to your comments, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.